has a real transformative story that if you looking to, lose weight or power through your situations, is definitely something that you will want to hear and definitely learn about. But y'all could tell me how your day was. We can definitely talk about that. Definitely, definitely. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hey man, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I just got done doing some workouts and stuff, playing with my son, and just trying to get through the day.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, similar. My son, my wife finally putting him to sleep. So
Yeah.
not
Yeah. My wife, well, she's trying to give him a nap, but he's going through that phase where like he don't want to nap. Right now he's about to be 10 months. And
yeah. Oh man, that's what's up, man. Man, my
yeah,
son, he hate naps. He fight them things, man.
yeah, that's it. It's so crazy because my son, my parents, I'll be showing them my son. They be like, "Oh, when you were that age, you did this, that, that." But it seemed like he a little bit more advanced. I think as the kids of this era is a little bit way more advanced.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's very independent. He he like to fight, and he like to jump off things. And I'm like, dude, you only
Yeah,
1 years old. Like, he ain't got
yeah,
no fear. And I want to keep that alive in him. He ain't got no fear.
yeah, yeah. That's good that you keeping that alive. Yeah, that's good. You have to keep it. I feel like a lot of things when you're a child, a lot of things get crushed early.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, the parents put their limitations on the kid. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'm glad to have you
Mhm.
on. I know you had to get everything sorted, and now you're on. But and
Yeah,
honestly, I
yeah.
gotta be real with you. You sent me the interview, and like I clicked it open that you had the other interview you had, and I was like, I watched like maybe like 30 seconds of it. I was like, nah, I don't want to watch it because I wanted to be authentic. When I hear your story, I'm like, nah, I want to hear it, raw and everything. Because I
Yeah.
know you gave me the basis on like you lost the weight and things like that. But I really want to be able to hear like the full spectrum of everything. Like what was your life like from a child growing up and everything?
Oh man. My life, as far as what, like,
Just in general, like give us like how was your childhood? Coming up, like did your childhood play a factor in who you are? And like okay, also give an introduction to who you are so people can kind of know who you are, what your story is, and things like that.
okay, okay, yeah. So what's up, everyone? My name is Dwayne, and my channel or my IG is Dwayne underscore motivated 28. Oh no, Dwayne motivated underscore 28.
Okay.
Um, Pretty much I'm from Miami, Florida.
Mhm.
I love working out. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's like my self-love time. You know how some people, they take themselves shopping or whatever. I love to work out. That's my way of loving on myself. You know what I mean? That's my way of becoming one with myself and kind of blocking things out. Or sometimes welcome things in because you work out problems while you getting your grind on while you're working out.
Yeah.
But my childhood was good. I ain't had no complaints. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by my dad. He did the best that he could. You know, I grew up good. I ain't gonna lie. My
That's
dad
good.
took care of me real well. My grandma definitely, helped out as well. But yeah, I ain't. And now what I will say is that we ate some food, but we ate some food. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a little kid eating like a grown man. So I definitely got fat when I was a kid. Definitely.
Yeah. So you was eating good. What kind of food you eating on?
Everything, man. Eat a whole bag of chips. I ain't talking about the little, quarter bag of chips. I'm talking about the big. Back then, it was like $2 for some bag of chips for the big ones, and
Yeah.
eating that, eating ribs with my dad. Whatever he ate, I was eating.
Yeah. You were eating. Were you in Miami at this time or Florida or?
Yeah, I was in Florida. I had moved to Tallahassee with my dad because he was going to college. My dad had me
Oh,
young, so
word.
he had
See
me
that?
young.
How young your dad had you? Because he was in college. He was in like his
Yeah,
20s, right?
he had me at 15. So yeah,
Oh man, your dad thought he wanted to get it out the way early.
yeah, he wasn't playing.
Wow.
He wasn't playing.
Wow. So that
Hmm.
means You were about he was probably like 20, 21, or maybe 22 when he
Yeah,
had
yeah,
you
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
22.
that's
I
real
was with
stand up.
seven.
That's deserve a round of applause because
Oh, no
man,
doubt.
for your dad, a lot of fathers at that young age, they would desert, just from the pressure of everything, they won't be able to manage it and maintain it. But your dad was able to step to the plate.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Like
that's
I said,
impressive to hear.
I ain't gonna, Of course, you got your own issues, but
Yeah,
overall,
yeah,
when I
life is not
reflect,
always perfect. I understand that.
yeah, when I reflect, he did the best he could. I never wanted for anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had all that I wanted. I did good in school, so I was rewarded a lot, whether it be clothes, shoes, PlayStation game, whatever. So no, I didn't have a bad childhood to be honest.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
thank
That's kind of like my childhood. I had a pretty decent childhood as well. Like my dad, my mom, them was around. They were doing a lot of things, make sure that I was good. But the eating, I can relate with you when it comes to eating because man, like back when I was young, I don't know if it was the same for the area you was, but like if you had Debbie cakes, if you had
all that,
like stuff like that, it was like gold.
all that, yeah,
Yeah.
all that, yeah, yeah. McDonald's. I don't want no cooked food. I want to go to McDonald's. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, take me. I see McDonald's, I'm in there, I'm throwing a tantrum. I'm crying. I'm going
Yeah.
crazy at McDonald's. Yeah.
Yes. You already know. You already
So
know.
so my question is, so how did you so when you so growing up, so how did you get to the point where you was like, okay, I'm overweight? Like was there like things that came across in your life, you're like, nah, I gotta lose this weight, or just like what was it that made you say, okay, I'm at too much?
Well, okay, so you know, I would say elementary, all elementary, I was the fat kid.
Uh-huh.
Um, but my dad had me dressing nice though. So yeah, I
Okay,
was
so he
fat, but
made sure you were clean. Yeah, yeah.
I was clean.
Uh-huh.
Um, what happened was my uncle ended up going to prison. He was short and fat. My uncle probably was like 5'7". He was fat, like
Wow.
240. And he was like,
Wow.
my uncle was my idol, you know what I'm saying? My uncle was
Right.
the coolest. He was the coolest. And
Right.
he went to prison for a little bit. He did about 4 years. He
Wow.
came out when I was in the seventh grade and I was fatter. I was bigger. I was 46-inch waist in the seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? I was big.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, 46 inch. Yeah.
Right.
I was big. And then what happened was my uncle came out in '01 and he was shredded. He was lean. He
Yeah.
was cut all the way up. I'm like, wow, I didn't even recognize him. His face was slammed out.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And he got taller. So he went from like 5'7", 5'8" to like 6'1". And so he was taller
Whoa.
and he was lean. Yeah.
So
And
he
he
came
told me
out
that
looking just like, yeah, looking way different.
way different. And he went in wearing about 240 and came out wearing like I think he said 161, 162, 161.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I just couldn't believe it. I mean, he was getting all the girl. I mean, we couldn't go
Yeah.
nowhere without
Yeah.
girls trying to come at him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they was on him. I mean, and he's older than me by like what 7, 8 years, but we would go out to the mall and girls would be sweating him, and all he had to
Right.
say was, "What's up?" And he had him. That's it. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing this. I'm like, man, I gotta do something, man. You gotta do
Yeah. You
something.
got
But
you got to change quick. You like this man getting all this. I gotta. Yeah.
yeah, man. So what happened? He woke me up one day, Sunday morning. I was at my grandmother's house, and he was like, "Man,
Right.
come out, do some push-ups with me." And that it was how it started. That was how it
Wow.
started. He woke me up, come do some push-ups with me, and I couldn't do a lot because I was real big. But
Right.
I remember doing my best to do 10, and it was hard, and I couldn't do
Right.
it. But he was like, "Just keep doing them, keep doing them," and I just stood. Like I stuck with it. I stuck with it,
Hmm.
and you know, he would end up going back. He ended up going back to prison.
Man,
But when he
I'm
went
sorry.
back, obviously, life. I took it seriously. So I I kind of it kind of the motivation kind of went away, but then it came back my eighth grade year because at that time, eighth grade, I'm what, 14. I'm like, all these girls. I'm like, man, I want to look good. I'm still
Yeah,
fat,
yeah,
still fat. Now I'm at like a 40, 48, 48, 46 waist. I'm still big and wide.
yeah.
And
That's up
then,
there. Yeah,
yeah, my dad, he told me to try wrestling out. And
mhm,
so I went ahead and did wrestling.
yeah.
And it helped me lose some weight. And I remember, being in practice in the eighth grade. I'm like, oh shit, I remember my weight was going down. I'm like, oh snap, I'm losing weight. So when wrestling season was ending, I was probably about 220 or 215, something like that. And then I just started jump roping because that was something that my uncle told me that was real good for losing weight. And I
Mm,
went back into hard jump roping. And then
right.
I went from like 218 to like 170. It took me like
Wow.
four or
Wow.
five. Yeah, I was 14 at this time, right before I hit high school. So I done got
Hmm.
all that weight off me. And then I started back on the calisthenics, doing the push-ups, doing the dips, doing 200 to 300 push-ups a day. And I was getting real cut up.
You were
So
doing
for the
200,
first,
300 push-ups a day?
yeah, 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 I was going in. Hmm.
Wow, wow. That's real tough. Were you doing them? Were you doing like in sets, or were you doing just
Yeah,
200,
set,
300 straight?
set. No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
set.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I gotta
yeah,
clarify that. He would be lying, but no, I was
yeah.
breaking them up. Started doing 10 sets of 15. Then I just kept going. Oh, I can do 20 now. Then boom, 10 sets of 20, and then I just kept building up. And then I started doing the dips with the chairs and stuff. And
Right.
I'm still jump rope.
So let me ask you. So your uncle, so when he came out, like with his exercise routine, like how many push-ups what he's doing? Like you seen him do a lot of push-ups at one point, or
Um, well, I'll tell you this: when he was locked up, he was doing over 2,000.
2,000 a day?
Yeah, he was doing because he was locked. He told me he was locked up in solitary confinement, so he was just
Right.
to himself. So
Hmm.
he said that he would run in place and drop down and do, whatever, 30, 40 push-ups, come back up, run. So he did that, all day, every day. He'd be doing that. So that's what he was
Oh
doing,
my God,
running in place.
2,000 push-ups in a day?
Yeah. So when he came out, he was the beacon of all of this. He's like I tell him
Right,
all the time, if it wasn't for you, I would be 400 pounds right now. Because
right.
he showed me that it's possible. You know, people were like, "Oh, you're big. It runs in our family." Nah, that's BS. It's
Yeah, and
possible
I
to
agree
get
with
there.
that. I agree with that.
Yeah. So he showed me that hey, it's possible. I did it. You can, I did it. You can do it. And I believed it. I believed it. So yeah, I believed it.
That's a belief because I have people in my family. It's like some even though I'm like in health and I'm doing all these things, I'd be like, dang, how do I speak to them? It's already hard if someone, if people want to change, but if they overweight and this and that, it's like, how do I speak to them to say, okay, you need to lose this, you want to lose that and do this. But your story is like through seeing somebody that you look up to. So you already got to have a connection to that to really to make that change. To go from that weight to down like that is not easy.
No, no, it's not. And another thing I had to learn too is to be careful because you'll be the Jehovah Witness. They'll be running from you. Oh,
Yeah.
here he go again. He talking about that health stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that because people would they'll put you in that category of being annoying.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I
Hot
got
so
fat again. I meant to tell you,
yeah.
I kept getting fat. Like
Yeah. So how did you end up getting big again? Like so you got down, you said, okay, I could do this. How did you end up getting big again?
Um, I didn't get big again until I graduated high school because all throughout high school, I was hitting that iron. I had started lifting weights. I was strong. I was killing it.
Yeah.
I was doing football. I was doing wrestling.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was I was in shape all throughout high school.
Okay.
And then, when I got out of high school, I still had those same eating habits, but I wasn't working out as much.
Hmm.
So, I hit what 19. I had a gain. I went up to like 250, lost some weight. Like I just kept yo-yoing. I
Mhm.
kept going up, lose it. Like I'll be 250. Then next minute you see me, I'm ripped up, cut up. I just kept
Yeah.
going through. I couldn't keep it. I couldn't keep it for a long time because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. My
So with
why wasn't
two
strong enough.
fifty, what's your height? Where your height's at?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". So the 250, because I'm around 5'8" too. So 250 would be, yeah, that'll be pretty solid. Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, I mean, I carried it all right because, like I said, I was lifting weights before,
Right.
and I still kept my frame, but I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just kept dealing with that. But the real damage came from when man, my daughter was born, and she was born in 2014.
Mhm.
And from there, I just kept going up and going up. Now I went past 240. I went past 250. I went past 260. And then, me and my daughter's mom, we broke up. So, I was dealing with that and, you know, what that comes with, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm coping through food. I'm home, I'm gonna give me a Pizza Hut whole box. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to Cheesecake Factory, get some cheesecake. So I
Yeah.
was my therapy, my medicine was food. So I just kept eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. And then shit, before I knew it, 2018 come around, 2017, 2018, I'm 315.
Wow. Wow. That's tough. How long were you and your daughter's mom together, if you don't mind me asking?
About a year, if that.
Man.
Yeah, yeah, it was a year. Yeah, about a year and a
So
couple
you
months. Yeah, a
you
couple
did you
months.
did you see the separation coming, like when it
Yeah,
happened? Or
yeah, definitely.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, because I know sometimes too, if it's like off guard, it's kind of it's even harder. It's like, man, yeah,
Nah, nah. I seen the signs, but I'm honestly the way things played out. I'm thankful because I end up meeting who I'm supposed to be with. So it is I ain't mad, I ain't angry. I end
right.
up meeting who I'm supposed to be with. So it was still a blessing that I'm, created my daughter. So no
Yeah,
regrets, no regrets.
that's kind of how life happens. We have moments that shape us, and shape everyone around us. So they be learning
Yeah.
moments. But not now you're able to sit in front of people because of certain things to be able to go through it. So once you was at 315 and then you saw your wife, did she see you and say, man, you gotta lose weight? Or like what?
Now, okay. So I'm gonna tell you something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I love my wife. Before I met my wife, I was still fat, but I was
yeah.
still, I was still getting women. I mean, I was still, I was still
Yeah,
pulling. I
yeah.
was fat, but shoot, I
It don't
still,
matter. Yeah, it don't
it
matter.
didn't
Yeah,
matter. Confidence is confidence.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
feel that.
Confidence is confidence. I still felt like I had a chance with a beautiful woman. I didn't think that, because of, nah, nah, nah. Was I
Yeah,
happy in my skin and where I look? No, but you know what? Hey, man, it wasn't gonna stop me from
it is
attempting to
what.
get to know
Yeah.
a woman. So, but what happened? I met my wife through Facebook.
Okay.
Met her through Facebook, and it was like it was instant chemistry.
Wow.
The first time we talked on the phone, I brought her a ticket. You know what I'm saying, to come down to where I was,
Oh,
and
you bought a plane flight just straight. So the first time I talk, you say, you know what, I'm buying you a flight. Come on.
yeah, 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 yeah. While we was talking, yeah, yeah. I ain't play
Wow,
no
that's
games.
brave.
I ain't
Yeah,
play.
you got straight to it.
I ain't play no games. And I
Yeah.
credit being crazy like that, to my dad, because one thing about him, he taught me when he wants something, he goes after it, and that's how I am. You know what I mean? I'm like that. So
Wow. I like
we
that.
we talking.
That's
Yeah, I don't play. I don't play. I don't play. Uh, but we talked on the phone. Boom, bought a ticket, and then when she was coming, I was like, dang, I hope she, I was getting those feelings. Like, I hope she liked me. I know I'm big. Just that insecurity was kicking in. I'm like, damn, I hope she liked me. Yada yada yada.
yeah.
And she was working out. And at this time, I'm laying in bed, I'm eating, but she was working out. She was every time I was on the phone with, oh, I'm in the field. I'm doing squats, or I'm jogging, or I'm doing push up. Like she was always doing lunges. Like she was active. And I
Wow.
liked that because I knew eventually I would get back on it. I said, I know I'm gonna get back on it. I'm chilling right now, but I know I'm gonna get back on it. So the fact
Yeah.
that she was already, you know, in that lifestyle, I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. So that happened. And then she came to see me, and she it was love at first sight. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah,
she
so it was
she
a done
she
deal, yeah.
yeah, she didn't care about how big I was. She didn't care. I was a 50-inch waist at this time. I was 50-inch waist.
Wow.
50. 3X shirt.
That's big. That's up there. 50. Wow, that's so that mean you had a
Yeah.
little stomach, you had a small
Oh
slight
yeah, yeah.
stomach.
Man boo had a stomach. Yeah, all that. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I had all that, yeah. But she loved me, man. You know what I'm saying? And she she
Mhm.
she she saw past that. She loved who I was internally, which is something I never experienced before. You know what I mean? Like
Really?
you just used to superficial love, what the person looked like and all that, what they can do and all this stuff. But she loved me for who I was, and that was very important. That was something that was that's the foundation that she came. Well, that's the foundation we built together off of straight organic love, not GMO love, not you look good. Oh, that's what I like. Nah, it was like two kindred spirits meeting. That's what it was.
Wow. So yeah, you were
Mm.
able to move into another realm. I see. So she seen you when you were at your biggest,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah. My
accepted that.
biggest.
Wow. So
Hmm.
she accepted you. Basically, could technically be at one of your lowest feelings, and she was able to see past. So that's how you got somebody real.
Well, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then we tried to, we I moved it down here. I moved it down to Florida, and we tried to work out, but I just couldn't, like, I couldn't find that consistency. I couldn't find it. Like I tried, we go to
Yeah.
the gym, we tried, but it was me. You know what I'm saying? It was me that wasn't consistent. She'll do her thing, but it was me, and she never
Hmm.
pressured me. Never said, "Hey, man, you're getting fat.
Hmm.
You know, you need to do better." None of that. She never lectured me. Never made me feel, greedy. None of that.
So she had like a subtle way of like getting you to get activated. Kind of it seemed like, well, or was it just
Through love.
having the presence of her
Through
constantly
love.
working out around you?
Nah, just she motivated me through love and patience and letting me find my way. Sometimes you gotta let people do that, And she was so fit. Like I remember, I'd be like, damn, she had an 8 pack. She was real lean. When I met her, she was real lean. And I used to be like, damn, man, I was beating myself up all the time. I was like, damn, I gotta get right, man. I'm tripping. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I gotta get right. And then I share something personal. My erections wasn't all that good neither. So I had to do something.
From the weight.
From the weight, man. Yeah.
Wow. So, because I know a lot of guys, they say sometimes they say the weight don't really affect that. I didn't know that the weight actually caused issues with that.
Yeah. I wasn't my strongest. Hmm.
Wow. So once you started to lose weight, everything started to come back in
Oh
function.
yeah, yeah. Shit, I'm 15 again. I'm 15 again. Cause that's
so
due to that insulin. That's due to the bad carbs, the sugars. That's that insulin that mess with all that.
so it brings it down. So once you done lost all the weight, so it's like she got to meet a whole new side of you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I lost her and more as far as weight. Yeah.
Hmm.
So she's seen me go from man boobs, big stomach to abs. Yeah, she's seen it. Hmm.
Wow. So that probably locked in, but I never knew that was a thing. And a lot of men don't talk about that because I know a lot of
Oh yeah,
people are overweight, but I see a lot of dudes they still be going, but I'm like, damn, they really do have issues, man. It's tough out there. Do you
dude.
feel like do
Oh,
you
I'm
feel like
sorry.
it's anything in the diet or anything that was like affecting you as well, or?
Oh, all that. Yeah, man. Diet, stress, insecurity.
Hmm.
Man, the hell that you deal with physically is the hell you put on yourself internally. Honestly,
Yeah.
I had no one else to blame. It was me and my eating, decisions and the stress that I was taking on. Just I was digging my own grave at that point.
Yeah. So you were like medicating yourself with the food, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that food and worrying and all that stuff. Yeah, just taking on too much, taking on too much. You know what I mean? And I think I feel like the universe put her into my life to kind of lessen that load that I chose to carry, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, I volunteer myself to stress. And you're not. I didn't know that's not the thing to do. I didn't know you're supposed to focus on you and heal you and get you together and elevate your spirits. I didn't know about all that.
Wait, what you mean volunteer the stress? What do you mean by that?
Just taking on things that wasn't necessary, minding business that wasn't mine, whether it be with, friends or family or just, I didn't know that, man, all that energy that I put out, I need to put within myself. I wasn't loving
Right.
on me. And it showed, when when someone loved themselves, that, they become like a magnet. You know what I mean? You like, damn, that's what's up. The energy is heightened. And I didn't know also that I had a lot of things going on within me that I needed to work out. So, being with her exposed a lot of my flaws that I wasn't aware of, and just things that got pushed under the rug. You know, being in that hustle culture. You know what I'm saying? Chasing that
Right.
money, and you miss out on the things that really matter, like your peace. Are you in a peaceful mindset? Are you speaking positive to yourself? Are you learning from mistakes? So I hadn't slow. I wasn't in a place where I can slow down and really audit my spirit. There you go. I couldn't audit my spirit.
You know what's crazy? I thought I was coming on an interview of weight loss, but it's way more than that. It's like because you're showing that many things, but even one of the things I'm hearing right now is that just choosing the right partner can
Yeah,
have so much of a turnaround in your life.
man. Listen, the partner can be your doom or your bloom. Straight up, your
Wow.
partner can. Man, that is the truth. That is like for real. Not your partner could be your doom or your bloom.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that, and it showed that you even had a time because a lot of men, no, a lot of men, they don't, we don't have time to really, address what's going on internally, or really sit down and look at that in a therapeutic way. But it's like you were able to do work and pull out and say you saying things and pulling out things, and I'm like, dang, even me in my personal life, I never looked at and thought about things in that way.
Oh man, I mean, thank you. It's just we can go on and on about that, but like I tell people be like, "Oh man, what you did for your weight?" I say, "Bruh, or sister, and you gotta love yourself first. That's the first thing. That
Right.
is deeper than just losing this fat. It's deeper than losing this weight. It's deeper than getting cut up or bulk or ripped. That is that is so that's not important. That ain't the
Mhm.
main thing. You know what I mean? That's like I'm trying to find a word to describe it. When people are only solely focused on just losing the weight, they're missing the main picture. You
Cause
know,
sometimes for me, sometimes I'll get calls like, cause me and my wife we work out. Like me, I haven't been super big. My wife, she's went up and down with her weight. So when she was like super up, and my wife, she probably don't even want me to say, but she got up to even places of being like 250, 260. I may, if I'm not mistaken, she might look at this video and be like, "Man, I was not 260." But she lost weight even to the point where she then went down like from up there almost 100 pounds. And what
mhm.
happened was that we went on like a fast, different places like a DR. We went to different places and started changing up the foods and things like that. So people would see that. And after we got back and we move around, we'll get calls and they'll be asking, yo, they'll ask real quick, they say, how do you lose weight? I'm not sure if you get calls like that, but from family or friends or people they'll call you say, hey, like they say, I want to lose weight. How do I lose weight? And it's like you may spend your time giving them advice, but then you see them not really applying it. Then they'll call you back maybe a month or two later. Hey man, I want to lose weight. How I lose weight? How do you actually motivate those people or to really, wake them up to get them to be like where you are? The person in the state. Because we get a lot of calls. They say, "How do I do this? How do I do that?" And they may ask maybe 8 or 9 times throughout the year, and I'm like, man,
How do you motivate them?
how do you
Man,
motivate them to get them? Yeah,
you know what? By doing you, honestly.
yeah,
You motivate them by doing you, man. Looking good in your clothes, feeling good, loving on yourself. Loving yourself is so magnetic. Loving you, being comfortable in your own skin. People want a piece of that.
mm-hmm,
When you are confident, when you
mm-hmm,
look good,
mm-hmm,
when if you got like we man, let me tell you, when I was in high school,
mm-hmm.
we had a brother who used to be on the football team. Man, the girls loved him. This guy, you would
Yeah,
have thought this man was Omarion or Bow Wow or somebody. You know what I mean?
wow,
And they used to love this guy, even fighting, having fights. They ain't even talk to the dude, but they be fighting over him.
whoa,
But he was in great shape. So when I seen him, his name was Omar. When I seen Omar, I was like, man, I'm gonna do my push-ups. I got inspired by that.
yeah,
I got inspired by people, got more money than me or more physically fit than I am. I got inspired, man. What do you do? How do you what's your program like? I want to know.
right,
I'm not. So I always say, man, if you want to motivate, just live your life. Just keep doing your program. Stick to your discipline. People gonna see it. They're gonna see it. They're gonna look at you, study your body. They're gonna see all your veins. They're gonna see how your chest poke out. They're gonna see, you know what I mean, your structure. They're gonna see it. They're
right,
gonna see it. That's how you motivate, just by staying consistent and being true to the values that you set for your journey. Because people are always watching. People are
wow.
always watching. People are always watching.
Wow, yeah, that speak paramount. That does speak paramount.
Oh,
Because we
thank you,
always
brother.
get those, yeah, we always get those calls, and we be like, how we doing? And like me, I personally really can't answer because me, I was on the too skinny side, like majority of my life. I was the one who was too skinny.
Yeah.
My grandmother, she used to always try to give me like supplement and stuff like that, but I ain't never like it. And my
Mm.
wife is the one, she in her life she battled with being on the other side of being a little more weight than she wanted to be and having to bring it down. But it's good to see somebody on that journey. I seen some of your photos, man. You look swole. I'm like, this man,
Oh
yeah,
man,
I could
thank you,
tell you
man. Thank you.
still at certain
Thank you,
points you
man.
were serious about that workout. I could tell.
Oh,
I could
thank you.
tell. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Man, I was gonna say something because you said something. A lot of times too, when it comes to people asking you and all that, I tell them walk. I'll do that too. Like, man, what do you man, just walk. What? Yeah, just walk. What do you mean? Walk. Just walk. That's it. Keep it simple because man, I used to be the guy that overwhelmed people
Mhm.
and you gotta do this, that, and you done wasted an hour of your time and ain't did nothing.
That's what I'm saying. But what the reason too, I'm so happy that brought you on because my dad, man. Right now I'm trying to get my dad to come down on some weight because his health is fluctuating. He's getting up in age, so his weight's starting to fluctuate. And my dad right now, he's like I mean like 350, maybe like 360. Or maybe I'm saying too high, maybe not enough, but somewhere around like 350. He's actually coming down on weight right now, but I'm trying to get him to come down because even when you say walk, I'm trying to get him to walk, but well, now he walked. The last time he would like came over my place, he walked a little bit, things like that. But he had got to the point where like the knees, it was just too heavy, his back and things like that. So I think right now he gonna come down that weight. But how do you when you in that mindset and that state, it's so hard to consider because you got work going on, you got bills, you got the stress. What else could it be that can help you to stay consistent? Because you, like you said, you went up and down, you gained weight, you had this going on, but you had a problem with the consistency on it. At what moment did it strike for you? Like, how did you even start that up? Because you were
All
sometimes
right.
yeah, we could say you're gonna start Monday, and it just you never start. But how do you start it up?
All right. So I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so
Mhm.
boom. This was the All right, so this how I really locked in. This is the longest I've been locked in on this my whole life. This is the most consistent I've ever been. And I'm gonna tell you when it started. What happened? 2019, I was doing some flipping properties with this rich dude. Um, he was a big millionaire investor, and I was working with him because we were looking for properties to flip. Okay,
Wow.
boom. So he listen. I used to go to his house. He had a big mansion. Are you familiar with South Florida?
I'm familiar with South Florida. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale area.
Okay, boom. So you know Broward. Okay, so you know
Hmm.
Weston,
Hmm.
Florida.
I know
Now
Weston.
what's
Yeah,
out there in Weston? It's
Weston is
rich,
like
right?
big houses, ranches. Yeah.
So this dude lived in Weston. And
Wow.
I used to go meet up at his house. He had a huge ass house. And he would have like a table there full of like desserts or cookies, croissant. I mean, man, this man, he had the whole nine. Cookies, like cakes, and oh man, he had what you call those things? Brownies. He had brownies,
So he had like
cupcakes.
Dunkin' Donuts and everything just right in his house.
Man, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, so every time I go over there, he'd be like, Dwayne, help yourself out. Help yourself out. So I go over there, get some muffins, blueberry muffins, chocolate. I'm killing it. Killing it.
Yeah.
I'm eating all this stuff. I'm like, golly. So
Yeah.
loving it. So boom. So one day, one
Mhm.
day I was over there and I was getting some almond milk, I think. I was getting almond milk from the refrigerator. And I opened up his refrigerator, right? And he said, Dwayne, don't take this the wrong way, but you know, you probably would do better if you lost weight. I mean, you're not that big. You big, but you're not that big. He was trying to be nice about it. And I
Right.
had a
Right.
cookie in my mouth, and I'm looking at him, and I said, dang, Bill, you right.
Yeah.
I said, you right. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me like an AK-47 round. At that moment, I said, that is it. I'm on it. I text wifey, baby, you working out. I'm going to 1 meal a day, OMAD. And that's when I started right then, 2019 of April.
Wow. So that calling
That's
from
when I
that
locked
guy
in.
saying that struck you, and you like, you know what? I gotta change. I gotta lose this weight.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
make it
Because
happen.
he was right. I couldn't argue with him. He was right. People
Right.
respect discipline, especially in sales. They want to, man, you look good, man, you fit. They gonna listen to everything you say.
Right.
So when he said that, I was like, dang, you right. And remember calling wife. I said, hey, baby, I'm finna go to 1 meal a day. I'm gonna go to OMAD, gonna hit it hard because I was already kind of like learning about it. I'm gonna start fasting, boom, boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
and from 2019 of April, I have been on it. I was 315, yeah, and then started going and started hitting it, walking. I was doing a lot. Me and wifey would swim in the pool every night. We would swim in the
Wow.
pool.
So you change.
I would
So you change your whole nightly routine. What you used to do before at night? Because I see you see when walking, swimming. What was your nightly routine before that?
before I decided to do it.
Right.
Nothing.
You just get
I
home,
was
watch
big.
TV.
I was yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing all that type of stuff. Yeah. I
But
wasn't working out, but
that's good though, because a lot of people will feel like, all right, I don't went to work. I don't work the 10 hour, 12 hour shift, and I'm just gonna go home. That's it. I already have my work for the
man,
day.
listen, man, let me tell you, I'll be door knocking. Shoot, I'm talking about knocking on people's doors, seeing if they want to sell their homes and stuff. I'll be doing that from like 12 to about 7, 8 o'clock. And then I go home. All right, you ready? You ready to go jump in the pool? Come on, let's go jump in the pool. Boom. We going into the pool.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah,
energy.
I was on it. Yeah, I was
That's
and
energy.
wouldn't eat. So I'll wait till after I do my workout and then I will eat. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be with a business partner. And he'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to get something to eat. You going to eat?" Like, nope, I'm good. And I stuck with it.
That's good.
I
So did you
stuck
have to
with
cut out like any foods during? I know you said the cookies, so I'm not sure if you cut that out. But did you cut out anything or?
it. Okay, so what I did, I wasn't so picky about what I was eating at the time. I just ate one meal. So I had an obsession with barbecue chicken. So I would eat. like 2 to 3 thighs and
Mhm.
some baked beans and rice and some cornbread. So that'd be my only meal for the whole day. So I started off like that.
Right.
And I would just eat that one time a day. My wife would make it for me, and then I'll just boom, boom. Yeah.
Wow, and just off of that, you were able to cut all the way, you were
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
shred, you would do so a lot of it is in like making sure that you have movement, making sure you hit in the gym, making sure you take care of it. That's where a lot of it is at.
Yeah. But I'll tell you though, see, that was the beginning, but I end up learning because some people will say calories in, calories out. I don't agree with that. It's all about the quality of the food. Now I know.
Hmm.
But you got to start where you are sometimes. I can't tell someone to go full turkey and to stop eating, the bad stuff. Hey, you are where you are right now. All right, cool. We're going to wean off that. I will never tell nobody to just go cold turkey because everyone can't do that. I'm crazy. I like to see results. I'm results driven. I like to see
Right.
results fast as I can. So if I got to cut that out or if I got to go to the extreme, I'm going to do it. I'm an extremist. I will do it.
Hmm.
I will do it. But I know everyone ain't like that. It's
Nah.
like, the Stoic teach to be hard on yourself but easy on others, and that's me.
And I like what you said. I got a lot of our conversation today. You know, the Jehovah Witness thing is definitely one of them.
Oh,
Because yeah, yeah, people won't want to open the door. They don't want to. But
oh
sometimes
man.
you can see like the decisions, and you like, man, you don't want that bad stuff to happen to somebody. Like I don't
So you
like.
know what, brother? Let me tell you something. I had that savior complex too. I gotta help. I gotta help. But you know what though? Certain people just gotta go out that way. Certain people are just meant to transition because of food. Certain we ain't gonna be able to save everybody, but the ones who listens, then they get the reward that's meant for them. Because
Yeah.
I feel like being fat was actually a gift because I've discovered so much about myself getting it off me, man.
Right. Right.
I should have wrote this down, man. I talked about it before, but Joe Rogan was no, not Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. This one of these other doctors was talking about how people who do things that they don't want to do constantly, they live longer. They live longer than the people who only seek pleasure in food,
Oh, okay. Okay.
sex. So if you're constantly doing things that you don't want to do, like working out, getting up early, hitting burpees, you know, just chores or whatever, if you are those type of people who do it anyway, you live longer.
Wow, that's incredible to take, man. It was a good interview today, but before we even close everything off, I want to ask you like, what's like something you want the world to like know, or that something you could leave that could really help people that you could say right now.
Well, one, I got some more stuff for you. You're gonna have to break this up because this
Oh,
ain't
let
even.
not let now we can hear it. We can hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I ain't even. Man, I got so much. Okay, we're gonna get to that, but I gotta tell you too. So, because this journey gets crazy.
Hmm.
So now, what really changed the game for me? Okay, when COVID hit, I was really
Hmm.
dropping the weight because I said everyone was gonna get big, but not me. So when COVID had happened, um, I bought a weight set. I bought my pull up bar, my dip bar, and I was working out heavy, burpees, bench pressing, pull ups. Man, I was doing it, jump roping, sprinting, walking the bridge. I was doing a lot of stuff. So I was able to, I got in great shape when COVID was going on. I was not eating crazy. I was still doing my 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
At this time, I was doing a keto. I was doing a keto. I did a keto for a year from like October, 2019 to October 2020, straight keto, doing that, 1 meal a day thing. And then I kind of fell off a little bit. I kind of fell off a little. I ain't gonna lie, I got a little lazy. Got a
Yeah.
little lazy. I
Yeah.
probably gained 15 pounds. So right now I'm sitting at 235, 240. But I ain't looking too bad because I just put in a lot of work. Cause a lot of times you don't really lose the muscle. You get a little fat around you, but you ain't looking crazy.
Yeah. The muscle gonna
But
stick.
exactly. But let me tell you something. In 2019, it's gonna get crazy. So in 2019, I remember speaking to someone who I hold dear to my heart. She's like a mother to me. She's out of Jersey. And I said, man, I wish they had a machine that would tell you everything that's wrong with your body, so you can get on
Wow.
it. If I man, I wish they had this where you can just know what the hell is going on and you can fix it and get on it. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like,
Right.
man. Anyway, so 3 years later, 2022, um, this was in May. She called me, this lady, you know what I'm saying? She's like a mom. She was like, hey, Dwayne, man, guess what? I said, what's up? She said, I found somebody who got that machine you talked about years ago. I said, for real?
What?
Is it exist?
Wait a minute. That sheen exists?
Like,
Hold on.
I ain't done, brother. I ain't done. I
Wait a
ain't
minute.
done.
What?
Yes, yes, because well, maybe I was going to bring it up, but when you talked about your dad, this is something that'll really motivate someone too. So I'm gonna tell you. So boom,
Yeah.
okay. So she was like, "Yeah, they got this doctor. He has a machine that he purchased from Europe, or I think he said Ukraine, but he had to learn how to. You got to be a real MD to get
Hmm.
it and to know how to operate it. You can't just be no self-proclaimed. You got to be a real MD, and he is a real doctor. So
Right.
anyway, the machine, what it does, he puts it reads your brain tell the machine everything that's going wrong in your body, from cells, from blood, everything about you, who you are. It'll tell you. He has a screen in his office, and it'll show you your body, and it'll tell you where your problems are, where your cells are degenerating at, and where your cells are strong at, where they're weak at, all that. And at the end, he prints out a list of foods that your body, your DNA told the machine that hurts you. So it have a list of all the foods that is damaging to your cells. And so I'm gonna tell you. So me and the
Right.
wife, we went down to go see him, and we went down to go see him. And I'm thinking, well, I'm in decent shape, man. I should be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. And it was my turn to get on it, the screening, and
Right.
I did it. And man, I didn't know, man. I had so many things wrong with me. So many things wrong with me. I mean, shocking. Shocking.
Man, I'm about to fly with me and my wife and my son out tomorrow to go see that
Now
machine.
we're gonna listen, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk. We're gonna talk when we get off. Yeah, I put you on, but yeah, it showed me my fears.
Wow.
My fears. Yeah, yeah. And it was on point. It told me what I was, my fears and stuff. But it picked up every single thing that was wrong with my body. Um, it talked about just man, it's deep. I got a printout. I'll show you offline, but yeah, I got a man, it prints it out for you. You print it out everything that's wrong with your body, or all the things, like let's say you smoke weed. And if the weed was laced with, if they used whatever, if it was mold in the weed, it showed up on your skin. It showed
Now
everything shows up on your body.
people might get that machine. Well, people might try to get that machine so they can go after their dealer. Like, man, what you gave me?
It's funny,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. But because
Yeah.
I was engaging, and he seen it. He said, "Oh, so you used to smoke?" I said, "Yeah, how you know?" He said, "Yeah, because I see some of the particles from it here." Boom, boom. He showed me on a little monitor and stuff. Yeah.
But so did he say it affected your DNA in a positive way or a negative way?
Well, if it showed up, it couldn't have been good because it was
Wow.
mold from
Wow.
that.
Wow.
And dude, and he's a brother. He's a brother.
Wow.
Um, from Guyana. Yeah, but man, he put me on. So when
Wow.
I got that.
Yeah.
Now I was working with butter. Now I was able to cook because it told me what to stay away from for my DNA, for me.
Wow. Wow.
It told me because everyone's different.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna be in there good, and my
Yeah, you
my
like,
results.
I feel good. I'm all right. I'm gonna go take it as nothing. Go. Yeah.
Listen, my results was way worse than my wife. Man, the dude took. I was in his office for I think 3 hours.
But was there any similarities between you and your wife on the reports?
Nah, and nah. Mm-mm,
Okay. So two
nah.
different. Wow. So you
See,
must have had a longer
okay.
list, and she must. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a way longer. I'm gonna tell you. So ketchup was bad for me, but it wasn't for her.
Wow.
Chicken is a poison to me.
Really.
Chicken is a poison to me. Yeah, chicken is a poison to me. Um, I can list all the foods exactly what's hurting you.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you think it is a part of like your family lineage? Like if you think if you took like your dad or your family or somebody and brought them that they would show similarities to you?
That's a great question.
Like is it a genetic thing or is it just you or
I think it's just I had family do it, and we didn't have the same results.
oh wow. Wow.
Nah, because they had their own issues. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're
Right.
all different. We all have different things going on with it. Like it picked up a lot about like my stomach problems and things like that. Trying to think. Talked about like he said, "You've been into a lot of fights, huh?" I said, "How you know?" Because on the screen it showed him like I took I took hits to my mouth before. It showed all that, man. It showed all that.
Yeah. So it can show how
Yeah,
like you have certain damage in certain places. That's
yeah. It
crazy. He
showed
could he
it's
could tell what's going on with the whole entire body. That's
the
crazy.
whole entire body, and again, it shows you where the cells are dying at. It shows you where the cells are. All right, so they have different. It's color coded. So if you see like a bunch of green dots, that means those cells are strong. If you see
Right.
like blue, they're cool. But if you start to see like red and black, then that means that they're dying. And believe the red is like they out of there. But yeah, it's deep. It's
Wow.
deep,
Wow.
man. Yeah,
That's
it goes, man. It scans your organs. It'll show you. You know what I'm saying? Where your organs is messed up at. I knew someone who I sent to go to him. They didn't know they had lupus until they went to the damn screening.
wow. Wow. That
They had
was
lupus and didn't even know it. Yeah.
so were they able did he give them like a regimen on how to go about it
Yep.
afterwards or
So I'm gonna tell you, sis. I'm glad you asked that. Well, you on
yeah,
point. So the machine creates these. They call them globes.
right.
These little small little balls that dissolve under your mouth, and then it realigns your body. It fix it helps those cells rebuild, and it gets rid of the things, the issues that's going on with you, and it creates them right in front of you. It creates them just for you,
Wow, so
and
this thing
this
so once it correct you take it and it'll help you.
it'll get rid of a lot of that stuff. And then a lot of times too, the foods that you're not supposed to eat, you can go back to eating them again.
You can?
Yeah, yeah. Some of the food, like you get scanned twice, and
Yeah.
when you go back, it'll tell you, okay, now you can eat whatever pineapples. You couldn't eat pineapples before because a lot of times people have these allergic, they have these allergies to certain foods because there's some issues going on in their body. Their body's not able to accept that because they have other issues going on. You know what I mean? That's where the
Right.
allergies come from. But if you like, you can do you cleanse your body. You know deworm yourself and all that stuff. All that'll get you right back where you could eat.
Those
Pineapples or
foods.
whatever. You need.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it creates that for you. Now, these things are so sensitive that you can't have it exposed to light. You can't have it around no cell phone. I put mine in my closet as I was taking it. I had to take it for like 30 days.
Wow. Wow. So
Hmm.
this is something that helps you out. So if it hits on light, then the light's gonna break it down. Basically, it's not gonna work right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to keep it in the dark. Yeah, it's going to mess it up. EMFs, the phone, computer can't have it around no technology. And that's another thing. He said like my scan, it showed that the cell phones and the computers and all that stuff affects me negatively. So what I do, I make sure I have like crystals around me or, what you call those shungites. Like I got a shungite on the back of my
Yeah,
phone.
that's what I got right here.
See, yeah, I got a shungite on
Yeah.
the back of this phone. Got a shungite on my laptops. I got an orgon generator where my TV and what a router is, and Wi-Fi is also a killer. It's a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So yeah, we keep crystals all around this thing because crystals and also a lot of people don't know seashells block EMFs as well.
I ain't know that seashells. So put
Yeah,
me
yeah,
on to
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
something new. So he said seashell.
Nature,
Yeah.
nature blocks EMFs.
So you saying seashells blocks it?
Hmm.
That's wow. That's incredible. I never knew that. So how you get into using that? Like you gotta because if I want to block the EMFs in my like because in my bedroom, if I want to block the EMFs, so I gotta like paint the walls with that stuff or like crush it up or
Man, okay, so So here's another thing. There's a way that you could test these things. There's a way you
Yeah.
can test to see how the technology affects you. Um, we might have to say that one for another one though. We can go over that one.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna get into it. But there's a way to test to see how, you know what I'm saying, these energies affect you. So what I do, like I got a bag of seashells. This is a small bag, and I just put it on top of the router. Long as they're near it, you fine. And
Yeah.
then like we got I got a little orgon generator pendant that I bought. And
Mhm.
I put that, like, if my wife is on her phone and my son is near her, she has that necklace on him or by him, because
Yeah.
it protects you from getting affected from those from the EMS on the phone and stuff. And they tell you, and they if you go in the settings in these phones, they'll tell you, hey, don't put it on your body. It says it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A
it
lot of people
definitely
don't.
says it. It messes up your sleep because that's why I got this right here. But I didn't know. So would you say seashell would be more effective than the shungite?
No. No. It's all effective. It's all
Hmm.
effective. Shungite, like I said, I got Shungite on my phone. I got Shungite on my laptops.
Yeah.
I got Shungite. I keep Shungites on me. No. Shungite is the bomb.
Yeah.
It's all effective. It's all effective. Like I said, seashells help as well, because I used to work with a doctor. He
Hmm.
was a holistic doctor, and he showed me how because he used to tape the seashells on behind his phone. He used to do that back in like '09, and he showed me how it stops the EMFs from messing with you as well.
Wow, that's
Yeah, seashell.
incredible, man. That is
Hmm.
very, very incredible. I had no idea, man. Definitely something we're gonna have to carry on. When I tell my wife and be like, yo, I'm like, this shungite right here, seashells do the same thing. She was like, nah, no way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, protects you from them EMFs because it's definitely dangerous. And then they got the scanner. They got people online who get those scanners, and
Hmm.
they'll show you. People be like, I don't believe that stuff.
Yeah.
They'll show you. They'll show you.
So you pull
Hmm.
it out and put it
So
together. Wow.
yeah, man. You gotta protect yourself because the Wi-Fi is causing a lot of autism. Wi-Fi is messing people up. A lot of people don't know that.
So that's
Um,
what we wanted to talk about because there's so many autism going on. I know in different cities where I know people from, they got like there's always that fear with your child. Like I feel like when you have a baby, you're always afraid because you see these things out, and then they saying don't do vaccines, don't do this, don't do that, and it gets scary. But you would say Wi-Fi was one of the leading causes,
no, I'm gonna just say it's one of the causes.
one of the causes.
Um,
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of the causes, definitely. And what else? A lot of the foods too. Like they say the number one food that's messing people up is strawberries. And this from my wife. My wife went to a autistic seminar I think a year or two ago, and she shared some interesting stuff. I didn't know about Wi-Fi until she told me, and she also told me about strawberries being the number one like pesticide filled food. Like you need to
Hmm.
get that organic. You should always get strawberries organic. Never get them conventional or whatever how they
At
sell
the
it.
seminar, the science behind the Wi-Fi, how it's causing autism. Like, does it like dismantle the wiring in the brain, or like does it?
I believe she knows more about that. Yeah, she knows more about that than I do. When she told me that, I was like, all right, we gotta be careful. So like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I be forgetting to turn off my Wi-Fi at night. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Mhm.
good to do that. It's good to turn it off. You know what I mean? When you're sleeping, I forget, but I put my little seashell on top of this router.
Yeah, because it's radiating you all night. That Wi-Fi is
Yeah,
coming right out of that
yeah,
box. That's crazy. I was
yeah. But
just
we
it's so interesting we talking about that because I was just talking about I was doing like a little short video and I was just talking about how Wi-Fi is there, like how because some women they would sleep with the phone on their stomach, on their body. A
yeah,
lot of people put that laptop right on their stomach when they're in
yeah.
school and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But again, I've seen some tests where them shungites stop that stuff. The shungite stop, it makes it less harmful. Like it makes it real minimally harming you once you put the shungite or things that block that type of stuff out. Yeah, it'll help big time.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
I see we got
Yeah,
somebody
man.
on her named Holistic Hip Health. She said that it's so cool. She said she has so many seashells and she said she got a copper necklace. She probably gonna go out and buy some seashells.
Oh yeah, copper the real deal too. See, listen, I ain't gonna lie. My wife be knowing all this stuff, man. She's on it. Like she knows
Yeah.
about this type of thing. I'm learning vicariously through her. So I get her cliff notes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like osmosis. Yeah, you getting everything right through her. Yep.
Yeah. So she knows it, and I just I get little tidbits like, oh, okay, boom. Let me keep that in mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But oh, another thing. What was I gonna say? Oh, so speaking of all this autism stuff, I'm very like I don't trust the doctors too much, man. At the hospitals because a lot of times they're pumping us with fear, they're pumping us with misinformation, and they take advantage of our fear. And there's so much that we're doing that's hurting us, and we just don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's it's crazy because like put it this way, you know how people be feeling like when you tell them about weight and diet, or hey, you should be eating that because this and that and this,
Mm-hmm.
or you shouldn't be eating that McDonald's because it causes cancer and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's way worse stuff that we're doing that if we hear it, it'll just
Yeah, it'll
so
blow
I
your
get it.
head.
Man, listen, I catch tantrums at home too when my wife be telling me new stuff. I'm like, what? No, man, we gotta let that go. Oh, come
Oh,
on now.
that's my wife, man. Me and my wife, we just had a blowout over pasta. Cause I'm like, babe, I don't think we should really be eating pasta anymore, man. We had a 3 hour argument over that. She like, what you
That's
mean?
us.
She like, I'm not giving
That's
up pasta.
us.
And I thought we came to a reconciliation. I woke up the next morning and she was like, I can't give up pasta. I was like, we started back in the morning again. But yeah,
Man,
uh,
listen, I'm her. I'm her because when
yeah,
my wife be bringing me new, I'm like, no. For instance, now my wife, man, I'm so thankful and blessed because this
yeah,
woman's always constantly learning, constantly, you know, uh, relearning. You know what I mean? Unlearning, unlearning things that she thought was true. She's always challenging what she thinks she knows. And I ain't gonna lie, I get scared of that. I get scared of
yeah,
that because I'm like, I want to
yeah.
hold on to this. This feels good. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like now she's been studying about food combinations. I'm gonna let her talk about that because that's she loves that.
Yeah.
So like how oh man, certain foods ain't supposed to mix because it messes up the digestion, and then
Oh yeah.
the digestion is connected to the emotions, and then it's connected to your spiritual, your spiritual connection with spirit and the oh man, it's just oh
It's
man.
so crazy how a lot of us are on the same path. Now she definitely is there because I was just even just talking with my dad on some things because I was like, with your health, make sure you're doing this and that. There's something like I think it's called monochromatic eating, where there was a guy in China and this guy only ate apples, and then there was another study of somebody from Costa Rica who only ate grapes, and they lived and they got strong for all these years, and it was like, dang, when you mix foods, they were trying to say something about that. So I just heard about that. Food combinations, it definitely slows down digestion. It does all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, man, and that digestion has been a big issue for me. My stomach has been so she's always trying to help me and help us. And
Yeah,
that's another thing too. Like you got to partner with someone who wants to extend your lives and not end it. And
yeah,
I've seen many couples get together and the wife get the dude big as hell. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or they
yeah,
both blow up, and it's like, man, if y'all with each other, man, y'all definitely should be inspiring. That's why I like what y'all doing because my wife put me on y'all. I just, man, the day I wrote the live. She sent me y'all link. I'm in the kitchen cooking. I'm in there cooking some
yeah,
plantains, some sweet plantains,
yeah,
and she sent me y'all link, and I was like, "What is dope?" Because she was putting the baby to sleep, and I'm
yeah.
glad she did that. But she
What?
mentioned y'all though because she kept telling me, there's this couple and they get their own salt from the beach, and I'm like, for real?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
kept saying like, "Oh man, it's this couple." I'm like, "What? That's cool." So it just it worked out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
me and my wife, just to give you a little bit background, me and my wife, I mean, we've been on a path trying to be healthy. We wanted to reach out. Well, first I wanted to reach like a higher place in my health. I'm like, let me, let me try to figure out how I could get higher in my health. And then I started to figure out certain things. I'm like, "Dang, why this family member died? Oh, they died from diabetes." And I'm like, "Oh, they died
Mm,
because of this." And I'm like, and then when I found out diabetes type 2 was preventable, I'm like, "That's crazy." That just sent me
mhm.
on a whole wave to try to just fix my health, fix things, and me and my wife. And then we just got to the point now where we like, man, how our goal right now, honestly, is to try to figure out how we could create a community, man, create a city. Because, like, people like you need, there need to be people like you in the city. There need to be a people like your wife. That's really about health and wellness. So it could be built where it's like it's safeguarded, where you could have a child and you don't have to worry about, okay, are they gonna get autism, or you gotta put a seashell on it. It's like you gotta do so much just to be healthy.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
Man, look here. It gets overwhelming, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing because it's life.
And,
I'd rather be what I'm on now than be 315 again. You know what I'm saying?
and,
I was
and
blind, dumb, and deaf to all this.
what's the crazy part I feel like about it is too, like, I'm not sure if your family's inclined, but you might have a family, a friend, somebody come over like, man, you tripping, you got a seashell, and it's like they gonna look at you crazy, and you just don't know what's
Nah,
going
they
on
already
out
think
there.
I'm crazy. They already think I'm crazy. Nah, they already think
Yeah.
they, they already think I'm crazy. Because one,
Yeah.
just how we are, we don't eat at restaurants. We don't eat
Wow.
out. We haven't eaten
Yeah.
out. We haven't eaten out in some years. We don't eat out.
Wow.
Everything that we eat, we cook it. We make it home.
Wow. That's
That's how
respectable. Yeah.
serious we take it. That's how
Wow.
serious we take it. Yeah, and we
Wow.
get everything organic. We don't play.
Yeah, nah, that's definitely respectable. Cause me and my wife, we just started doing that, like not eating from out, trying to stay inside. Like we just started the 90-day hard. Right now we on day, like, I think number 43 or 44. I gotta look at the thing. I think it's about to tip over to 44. But we just started, we trying not to eat out because you don't know what's in those foods, man. They cut corners, do the cheapest thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Hey, brother, I'm gonna go deeper. You don't know what's in them people.
yeah, you don't.
You don't know what's in them. That's the main thing, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, Sergio might have just broken up with his wife. He mad. He putting all that into your food.
Yeah, yeah,
You
giving
know
you
what
all
I'm
that
saying?
energy. You're right. You're right. And then you eat it and you don't know why you feel like that.
Yeah, you go home, get into arguing with your girl. You're like, man, I can't stand you. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm tripping. People, man, people sleep on energy.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, so
so
now we don't.
what caused y'all? It's so much to you, man. Like I didn't expect that. So
Yeah,
what what caused you to change to not go eat? Because eating out is kind of hard. Like when I sometimes I just started my 40-day hard and I've been talking, family, friends. I'll be like, man, it's not really good to eat out, this and that and the third. They're like, yeah, I could probably take that on, but I gotta go eat out every now and then, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And I'm like, man, how did you break that barrier? Because I feel like that's one of the main things, especially as a couple. Going out, going to places is a part of dating and having fun.
well, you know what, man? I'll be honest with you. After I left that doctor, his name is, I call him Dr. J.
Hmm.
So when I left Dr. J, I had a clear list of what the hell I can eat. Oh, what the hell I can't eat. And then from what I couldn't eat, I had to figure out what I could eat.
Hmm.
So me being so serious and so, you know, intentional with that, it just turned me off from messing up my healing process. And then
Hmm.
it just stuck on me after that. Like it just stayed with me. It just stayed with me because now I felt empowered that I knew what was going into my body, everything.
Hmm.
So I felt empowered by that.
Wow. So when you left his office, like, what was it, like a depression afterwards, or like
Yeah,
down
yeah, I
feeling?
was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed and I was pumped because I was like, all right, damn, I'm real messed up, but you know what? At least I can heal myself. That was a long ride back home, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, that was a long ride. And then the next day, I remember we had to figure it out because we also had we had got some tinctures that he recommended. We bought some tinctures.
Hmm.
Um, we bought tinctures and stuff, and we had to map it out. So I had to take this twice a day, and I had to take those little things I was telling you about three. So we had to map it out. And she ended
Yeah,
up making like a little schedule for me. My wife made a schedule for me, so or for us, because she had to do it too. And
yeah.
we just worked it. We worked it, man. I went back working out hard. I went back doing my program, getting on my pull-ups, sprinting,
Mhm.
walking, you know what I mean? Just really getting it in, hitting them dips. And I was just really just going after it. Like I was going after it. And before I knew it, because I was at that time when I seen Doc, I was 235. And that's when I
Mhm.
ended up going down to 190. So I hadn't got real shredded. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, wow, wow. So he
Yeah,
inspired you. So you had to go through that moment of like being down, that long ride home. But then you got back, you turned right back on and got motivated, got right into it.
yeah, because it was a lot. Because it told me a lot about my what I was dealing with. Like, the stomach issues that it's a lot of stuff. It was a lot. And I was just like, damn, but you know what? I can fix it. As long
Right.
as I got a solution. You know what I'm saying? I got a solution and I did everything. And it fixed my body. I had better bowel movements. I had better sleep. Like now I can sleep easy now. I used to couldn't sleep at all.
Wow.
Just it changed, my energy levels. I was able to lose weight because I felt like I couldn't go past 220 and I ended
Yeah.
up, beating that and yeah.
Wow. You went
So
down. So that must have been a wake up call for you. Like, wow, yeah, I could go down.
yeah, man. Yeah. It was definitely it was beautiful, man. It was worth more than any materialistic thing ever, your health. And yeah, it was the best. And then I remember when I seen how the computers and technology messed with me, I bought we still got them to this day, some orgon generators, little circle things, and you can wear it as a necklace. And like I said, I went serious on it. I wasn't playing no games. And like I said, just knowing that these chemical, I mean, think about it too. I'm gonna tell you something. So, how in the hell are these restaurants serving all this food, serving all this, stuff to people? They're not getting quality. They not getting the best quality. They not getting the organic stuff. They not getting stuff that's not sprayed down with pesticides. They getting stuff to make them money, which is gonna be cheap. You understand what I'm saying? So that just common sense for me now. Now it's common sense. You know what I'm saying? That's common sense for me now. So I would never eat at a restaurant unless I gotta know that's organic. Trust me, got to go through a lot of stuff for me to sit down and eat there.
Wow.
But I don't feel out of love with it though. I love eating at home with my wife. I love being home eating. It's like now it's like it's
It's a
culture
part of
now. You
your, yeah,
know,
part of your culture. Damn,
it's
that's so
culture. Yeah,
it's beautiful. I think more families like that need to be represented. Y'all don't do like any portrayals of your lifestyle and put it up and stuff like that.
we haven't. Just we haven't, man. We just
Man,
had a son, so we still adapting. We still.
yeah. Yeah, trust me. I know because even my life, like, cause this our first my first kid, and me and my wife we used to travel, we do all types of stuff. But now with our son, like life just changed, and I'm like, man, we got to figure this and that out. Like it's so different.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
very different. I understand. There's a little bit of pressure. Your child always requires the attention, so you got to make sure you there and take care of everything you used to deal with. So
Oh man. Yeah,
yeah.
and kids are the biggest cop blockers too, boy. Woo.
My dad told me that. He said wait till your son get around one. It's over.
Yeah, man. What?
So they get up and when everything about to go down, he up. Hey, what's going on?
All the time. All the time. I remember one time I'm waking my wife up. Shoot, he looked at me like, "What you doing, nigga? What you doing?" Nah,
Yeah,
nah, they ain't
he,
having.
yeah. He like, nah. You like, man. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I be like, man, she was with me before you. What you? I be messing with him. Yeah, I mess with him a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
But yeah, it's so much, brother. Man, we can go deep, man. Like, man, and my wife. Okay, I'm gonna give you something else. Okay,
yeah.
so boom, the machines told my wife that she couldn't have kids because the fallopian tubes were blocked.
Whoa.
So we took some herbs, and boom, she got pregnant with our son.
Wow, that's incredible. That's
Oh
incredible.
yeah,
So,
man.
your son one right now, or a little bit older than right, just
Oh,
on
he
one.
won. He won. He just turned one.
So I mean, he was born in like June or July of last year,
No, May.
or June, or May. My bad, May. I'm
Mhm.
saying July. July ain't even come yet, but May and June. Yeah, my son was born in September, so he about to be 10 months.
Oh, okay. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, yeah. And my bad. August 22nd. I don't know. Me and my wife was actually in the hospital for a week. That's why it was. We had a crazy story with that. But I was gonna say something in regards to my wife. Also, they were telling her she couldn't have a baby, and then like, cause we were going certain places, and then people were telling us this and that, so we had ran some tests. But I wish we would have had that guy you had, because then we went through a fast. We did all this stuff. I mean, I learned a lot during it, but I probably could have learned more of exactly what it was.
See, that's the thing too. See, that's and it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that my wife and I want to talk about more with people. It's just like I said, life and just getting things in order and just getting the funds right. Just getting things in order, man. It's a lot,
Oh yeah,
But
trust me.
we went when she was pregnant because she was learning again. She's a sponge. She's a
Yeah,
natural scholar, so she's always learning. And we learned like even when she was pregnant, what do you call those ultrasounds when you on the
yeah, that
baby? What they call
ultrasound
it?
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not good for the baby. That disturbs the baby. The
yeah.
chemicals that they put on your belly has drugs in it, and it goes through the skin, gets on the baby. Yeah, she could break all that down. She could break all that down. We learned so much. And then when we were going to see these OBGYNs, they treated us like a number. I hated that.
Damn. Yeah,
You know
nah,
what I'm
nah,
saying?
I know what you mean, because honestly, our experience for the life me and my wife was trying to put together. My wife started, she wanted me to cook something for her. But honestly, the life me and my wife was trying to put together, our experience shouldn't have been like that. But you're definitely right, because we went to OBGYN, it was just weird because we were on the East Coast, and the place we were going was like a small little doctor's office, and they were just, it was like you always had a different nurse come in or a different doctor, and it wasn't a person who was. It was just a weird experience.
Same thing. Every time you went, yep, same thing. You had a
Yeah,
different, and they'll come in. Hi, bye. Hi, da, da. Okay, see you later. Bye. Come back.
yeah. You have
Like,
questions.
dang.
You about to have a baby. Is your wife first?
Yeah,
Child? Yeah. So she got questions. You worry. You about to have a baby. You still a little scared, and it's like you're not
yeah,
getting the TLC you need. Yeah.
yeah. They're not even sitting down talking. So my wife had got inspired by this sister on YouTube. Her name is Crystal. She got a whole business called the Goddess Collection, the real deal.
Wow. Okay.
So she delivered babies. She's a doula as well.
Oh, shout out
Super
Crystal.
successful,
Yeah.
super successful sister. Man, she been listening to her for some time. And
Right.
she was like, my wife was like, hey man, I wanna deliver our own baby. I said, okay.
Wow.
Because my first daughter, we had a midwife with my ex. So I
Mm-hmm.
was already kind of, had a foot in that door,
Right.
about that type of thing. But
Right.
this time, wife was like, nah, man, I don't want no midwives. I don't want no doulas. I want me and you. So I
Wait,
was like,
you delivered the baby? You did
yeah,
it?
yeah, I
Oh
delivered my
man, that's
son.
commendable. Wow, wow. That is
Mhm.
very, very commendable. Wow.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank
Wow.
you.
That I wanted to have that experience, but I think the pressure of like when you have your first one and then and this and that, we end up going to the hospital, man, and it was the worst. Thank God my son's here, my wife made it through it, but that was traumatic. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
next
And
time
it's
we
like
at home. Yeah.
they set it up to be that way. They set it up,
Yeah.
man. We was home. Yeah, we did it home, man. Because there was a video that we watched that Sister Crystal had did,
Mm,
who owns the Goddess Collection. That's the herbs we took too for her to get pregnant. By the way, she took a tea called Baby Boom, and
wow.
she got pregnant.
Wow.
So she had a video where she was delivering her sister's baby, and my wife said, hey, watch this, because I was at work, and she said, hey, watch this, and I watched it, and I was like, I can do that.
Right.
I was like, I'm with it. And she
You
was like,
like
you
it?
sure?
Wow.
It's like, yeah, we could do it. And then we did it. When it was time, I was ready. I had just got through eating too, because she was going
Yeah.
through labor, and I'm watching her go through labor. I'm eating my food. I'm watching her, and then boom, when it was on, it was on. Got ready, and it's like I don't remember a lot because I was in the spirit, man. I was tapped in. I was in the spirit. But we recorded. We recorded that thing though. We recorded it.
Wow, that's something y'all got footage on. So when you start doing your thing, and then yeah, that's
Yeah,
something you can grow on. That's better than just reading anything. You have firsthand experience. You lived it. Wow,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
You wasn't scared at
yeah.
all, man. You ain't had like you didn't like think about it, second guess or anything. You just when you had that
No,
confidence.
Nah, I wasn't scared because I felt like it was. I felt like it was ordained, man. I felt like it was divine. I felt like it was gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And then he came out breached. He came out feet first.
Wow. And it was all right.
He came out feet first. Yeah, came out feet first.
Wow. Yeah, that's one thing that they always say. They make it seem like breach is a bad thing, but he came out feet first and he was all right. He was fine.
He was good. It's funny when he came out, he wasn't breathing all the way, and
Mm.
we learned from the video. You put the baby on the mama's chest, the heart, and that will get him. And when we got him, we did that, and he started crying.
Wow. So it was just you and your wife. You and your wife just was there.
Me and my wife on her yoga mat.
Y'all
Yeah,
didn't have like any family at the house or around or anywhere, or it
nah,
was just wow.
just me and her.
So how long did y'all wait? Did y'all keep the placenta as well? Like, did you leave it on?
We still got that placenta. It's right in the freezer. We still got it.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Me and my wife ain't
We
know what
still.
because we went to the hospital. We ended up getting this placenta like because they put in the freezer for us, and it was in the freezer. Then we brought it back. We ended up burying it though.
That's what. Yeah, we ain't get to that. We ain't get to that part yet.
We
We ain't get to
buried
that
because
part yet.
we had another lady. She was like saying you have to eat it, but then I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah, she was saying my wife had to eat it, and I was like, I stopped eating meat a while ago, so I was like, man, trying to work yourself up to that's kind of it was kind of hard to
Nah,
not
nah,
do
you
it.
ain't gotta do that. That's nah.
So we ended
But
up burying that thing.
nah, that's dope, man. Yeah, you on point. You on point, brother. Nah, you on
Yeah,
point.
we
Yeah, we
buried it. We
still
got a
got it.
few trees planted. Yeah,
I just don't like the area where I'm at to bury it at, but we still got it in the freezer. Still
that's
in there.
beautiful. That's beautiful that you held on to it.
Yeah, and we let it fall off. Like we let the umbilical cord fall off. We didn't cut it. We let it fall off naturally.
Yeah, wait, that's the thing I wanted to do, but when we was at so we was at the hospital, and I was trying to let my wife know because she got scared. That's the thing. We were out of the country, so when we got back, we couldn't find like a good like a midwife, or we could, we was too rushed because she was 3 months. We got back, we had to go back out. We came back at 6 months. A lot of people didn't want to take us, so we were moving around
Mm,
trying to find somebody. Then push come to shove, we ended up having to go to the hospital, and the baby was doing the night, and my baby didn't come to the 22nd. So they like, nah, you 2 weeks past, you can't go 2 weeks, and they said the baby gonna die, this and that. I'm like, man, like
maybe, man.
I'm like everything I study, I'm like it's okay. We should still try to wait and make it be natural. My wife, she let them people get in her head and she just got too scared. She's like,
They do
nah,
that, man. Now,
yeah,
it's not even your wife's fault. Things happen, but they pump a lot of fear, man. Like,
yeah,
I mean, just imagine, and this is what I be thinking about. If they lie to us about stuff like that, imagine what else. We're purposely making our life harder, listening to their limitations.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Delivering my son was one of the best accomplishments that I ever did in my life, and I'm just happy that I was the first one to touch him. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? His dad. And these people take that magical moment from you when you listen to
yeah,
them. They
yeah.
take that blessing from you. They scare you. They tell you, oh, can't have a breech baby. Well, we had a breech baby. He came feet first.
That's beautiful that you're going against the grain, because
Oh yeah.
man, I would say that the hospital never want to do that again. Cause I didn't want my wife to be deal with the drugs, but then they force it on you. They give you the pitocin, and then they tell you the baby heart rate going down. It's like, man, wait, what's
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it
yeah.
started to turn into a whole show, and it's like from all that pressure, I'm like, how could you naturally? My wife had to end up getting a C-section, and I'm like, I'm like all that pressure, how? Because your body got to relax, to get into the state to really do that. I'm like, it's too much. So she ended up having a C-section, and before they even knew it, they cut the placenta off. I'm like, man, I talked to them before. I ain't want the placenta cut.
Yeah, they know what they
Right.
doing. Nah, they listen, they know what they be doing. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's and then here's the thing too. When they do C-sections, they make a lot of money. Natural births are they don't get paid no money for natural birth.
yeah,
C-section costs like 30, 30,000 and up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nah, man. It's and then if people thought we was crazy when we did a natural birth. They were like, "Oh
Nah,
my god,
yeah.
you're with a hey with my chin up." Yep, sure did,
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
did, sure did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, you need people like that
No,
because
thank
man,
you.
there's a lot of women out here who having babies. You know, they worry. You know, especially your first one. You need to be walked through it. You need to know what's going on. It's a hard process. You know, scary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But man, I, it's funny. Like always tell my wife, shoot, only thing I'm afraid of is the eviction notice. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too many things scare me, man. The evict,
Yeah.
like doing that felt like a duty. Like, man, I gotta get this in. I gotta do this. She didn't already ask me. She asked me, hey, can you do? I'm like, yeah, I got this. So I wasn't. My duty overrode my fear.
Yeah.
My manhood, it leaped past my fear.
Right.
And that's why, I wasn't scared. I was like, no, we got to get this done. You know what I'm saying? We got to handle this.
Mm-hmm.
We practiced how to breathe because it's a technique on how to breathe. It's a
Right.
technique, and we practiced it. You know what I mean? It's like it locked in, like, oh, we know what we got to do. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. He's not breathing. Okay, cool. Put him on your chest. Boom. Put him on the heart.
Yeah.
Heart stopped. I mean, it started and then boom, he was crying. So we
Wow.
did that.
So you and your wife, do y'all think about getting into the community and actually, giving this back? Like trying to, build it up and try to give back even some of the knowledge you have. Y'all think about, sharing it with the community, helping people because, day to day in a lot of people's lives is not easy.
Definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. We're working on us first,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
most definitely. Because when we
Yeah.
do it, we want to do it 110%. We don't want to halfway it. You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, I respect that. And I think a
Yeah.
huge part of what I'm hearing is that you already like a kicker. A lot of people can't really do that. It's strictly eat in the house. That's paramount to really be in
Yeah, my wife.
control.
Man, yeah, thanks, man. She never caught an attitude. She was cooking every day for years, for like what 2.5 years. I started cooking because when she got a certain length in the pregnancy, she couldn't really, she had to relax. She was sleepy and tired, so I had to learn how to cook. Now I be in there whipping that thing up. Nah,
Yeah,
man,
I ain't gonna lie. That's the same thing that changed me because my wife she used to do all the heavy lifting with the cooking, but when she had got pregnant, I had to
Yeah,
start making food, and then I started to think what was in the food, and then I started to learn about the synthetic vitamins because I had seen a post. I got to do some research on it, but I just seen a post this morning on this guy because he talks about a lot of things like journaling articles and like studies, and he was saying how folate could be one of the precursors or one of the things that's causing people to have postpartum depression, and how the synthetic vitamins is a problem. So I was like, I went into research. I'm like, man, it could really be a thing you know. So I started, making food for my wife, trying to do that. So I was just like you, trying to cook, trying to do everything.
yeah, yeah. Hold on. You got Yeah, yeah, yeah. We live, baby. We live, baby. My wife right here. She right. I'm about to get her the. She getting my son ready. All
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
Come on, baby.
My wife is in there.
I'm shy.
Hello.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, yeah,
Um, I was listening. Well, I couldn't play the sound, but I did go back. I did catch the part where you were explaining how they treated you in the hospital, and I was crying a little because
yeah.
I can
I wish
have
my
compassion for all that. Yeah.
nah. I wish my wife would come explain it, but it was. it was crazy. Like when I tell you that that experience wasn't what we expected, because like me and my wife, we've been trying to health and wellness. We've been trying to do this and that. We still got a lot of learning to do, but we've been on
Yeah.
this path and this journey. So we were like, when we have our first child, we gonna have it at home, and we ended up going overseas, going here and there, and I was working, doing stuff. And then when we got back, once you get past a certain stage, a lot of people don't want to take you on because they're like, you too advanced in your pregnancy. They got to check to see if this is wrong, if that's wrong. It's kind of hard to really bring you on as a new patient. So a lot of people was rejecting us. And then where we were gonna live at, because we were gonna live in a rural area, like outside of Orlando area, but it was more towards like out in the wilderness. So it really wasn't doctor offices around. So we like, we don't know where we gotta go. So we ended up going to a family member's house, but we were like, we gonna have the baby at home. But like all of our family member house, we really couldn't have the baby there. 'Cause we didn't have a place at that time. We really can't even have the baby at home. So we're like, all right, let's just let's because so now the people who were like midwives and people who said, okay, we can help you deliver, they were like, we need records or something. So we like, all right, we gotta go to the doctor. So when we started going into the doctors, even knowing what everything we know, just because it's so much of your first experience, all the like pressure and the fear,
Yeah.
you could fall
They
weak.
make you feel like you don't know anything. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're one of those Google doctors, huh?"
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's it. They want to
Yeah.
withdraw. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But you guys want more kids?
Oh yeah, we definitely want more kids.
Well, guess what? You know now. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You
we
know
definitely
now.
want to have more.
And
Yeah,
and your wife, and tell her she's beautiful till I say hello. I'm sure I'll talk to her at some point.
yeah.
But
No, you definitely will. She ended up with the baby. He's like, he's so busy right now. She got him in the room. She's trying to get him on the schedule, but I don't know if that actually works.
yeah. I interpreted that because the baby was he usually goes to sleep, but he wanted to eat the whole time. So I interpreted that as it was meant for you two guys to talk,
Mm-hmm.
and as ladies will catch each other later, I suppose. But
Yeah.
yeah, so she's stronger from that, and they're gonna, if you do go to the doctor, they're gonna tell you that you're more at risk because
Mm-hmm.
she had a C-section. That's not true. You can 100% have a birth at home after having a C-section. Even if you had 3 or 4 C-sections, you can still have a birth at home. So I hope that you guys just take this as a part of the experience. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay that
Yeah.
people go through way worse,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's okay.
So my question,
You came out of
because
it.
your husband, he speaks highly of you, man. I want to congratulate you because like men need somebody like that. So y'all gonna be a powerful
Oh, thank you.
force for the world to see. So that's a good thing. I was telling him that if y'all should start sharing some things with the world and the community,
Yeah.
that'll really be good.
Yeah, we've been for me, because he's spoken about it so much, but for me, I'm like, it just doesn't feel like it's time. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm waiting for. Maybe for me to develop and mature emotionally in some ways, or to care less about what people think. I don't know. But I mean, even you guys having your channel definitely inspires me. I'm definitely supposed to be on social media in some way.
Hmm.
And we've been working on it, dabbling in and out. And so it's just something about you guys that really, I was like, they have good energy. And so I showed him about it. Of course, he always steals my friends. He's going and messaging y'all. So oh man, but yeah, but he's a social one, so I'm glad that he did that because I probably would have just been watching it all quiet. I made a comment once or something, but yeah. So I'm really happy that you guys ended up doing this today. You never
Wow.
know what comes out of interaction. So
Yeah, me and my wife, we just trying to work to inspire. We want to connect more with people and help people, show their light and who they are to really bless the community and bring us
yeah,
up. But I feel like a lot of people are dying from a lack of information. Like your husband said, he said a lot of good things, and he said some of well, a lot of it comes from you. So a lot of people are dying from a lack of information. They need this information. They need, that confirmation that it's possible to do it. So that's why me and my wife are doing
yes,
this. We have a vision that, one day we could build a city, where that city is just a health and wellness city where you don't have to worry about, you already know. you're gonna have a healthy pregnancy. You already know the food you're eating is okay. You know your child is not gonna have autism or all these issues and things that are going on. Like it's a place that really cares and nurtures you. So that's what really we're doing this for right now, to build that. So
Yeah.
to have people like yourself and your husband to really be a part of that, people like you in the city and the community really, making a better future for our children.
Thank you for the acknowledgement. You guys are definitely, you guys have something. I mean, you got something. Look, I was like, let me support them and put a comment, and then I go look at your videos. I'm like, they didn't need my support. They got a whole bunch of they had a whole bunch of subscribers already, and that is so cool. I was like, wow, you guys have some popular videos. That's really cool.
Nah,
And so at
don't
first,
even feel like that. Like cause my wife, my wife is the main one reading through the comments, cause sometimes she'll write back, cause I'll be editing or trying to do a video, this and that, or like looking up information or on a call, still working and stuff. She'll look at the comments, she reads them. My wife reading them. She's like, did you see what such and such and such said? And she'll talk about that one comment all day, and I'm like,
yeah,
man, so your comment really does matter. So I
yeah,
definitely would say don't feel like that. Don't feel like because it's like two. 'Cause I feel like we have maybe 2,000 or something up there, but every comment matter because what our goal is really is to connect and build. So
yeah,
that's
and continue
constantly what
growing.
we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we want to inspire people like you and your husband.
Yeah,
Brilliant
I'm
people.
inspired, man. You listen. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't even know how I came across your channel. I don't know. But I was like, okay. Um, I don't know what it was that made me subscribe, but I know that I did follow watch the 90 Days Hard in the beginning when you guys first started, and it was you guys' energy. But then I saw a video where you guys were talking about making your own salt. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I've never heard nobody say that before.
Yeah. No,
So
no. There's a
I still
lot.
have to watch that video.
There's a lot that me and my wife are researching right now that we're trying
Hmm.
to put into effect that we kind of like got a grounds on, but we're realizing that there's a lot of things that you could start using outside of what you find in the common findings. And we even found that even some of like the healers and these people is like, damn, a lot of people don't know about a lot of these things. So right now me and my wife are trying to work on some things to really bring that to light. So that's what we actually working. Hopefully in the next like 2 or 3 weeks we could put out something on what we're working on. But it's groundbreaking. I'm like, man, there's so much, from a lack of knowledge, there's so much that you could miss out on. But yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly I didn't even know people were watching. Me and my wife, because we started doing social media, like trying to, do some things on social media to inspire people back in like October, after my wife had the baby in September. So October, I was home. My whole life changed. So I was home, and I'm like, man, I just got on social media, trying to, I started seeing that people, helping people, doing this and that and the third. And then my wife was like, man, I feel like we on social media, having fun, but I feel like it's not reflecting who we truly are. But so she said that, and after she said that, I switched. I'm like, man, I want to help people. I really want to help people to be, be themselves. So I appreciate that y'all watch. I didn't know,
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't know people were watching the channel. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah. It sounded like your wife since, and it's like I was hearing different people say it, or maybe around the same time that she was feeling that as well, that we can't keep compartmentalizing who we are. We have to fully be ourselves, which is so scary because I'm crazy, right? But
Yeah, nah,
but
it's
you
great
fully
to
be
be
your
crazy though.
crazy self.
Yeah, it's good to be
And
crazy. Yeah.
these thoughts, these out of the box thoughts you have, you're supposed to communicate it confidently and share it with people and not care about how you're received, and know
Mhm.
that you'll eventually you're going to be received how you're supposed to be received by who you're supposed to be received by. So yeah, she sounds very intuitive, but I,
No, she
I
definitely.
I look
I hope
forward to
she.
talking
I
to
wish. Let me
her.
see. Let me see if she's up. I'm gonna send her to see if she's up or she's down with the baby. But she definitely is very intuitive. I would say with
Mhm.
my she's intuitive, and like for me, I'm the one who's like doing the research, who's going after like a lot of things, but like her just natural, like it's so crazy because I'll have all this information, research and this and like that, and just her natural instinct would be like she can know if something's right or wrong without really
Yes,
researching. It's so crazy. I'm like, wow,
yes,
the woman's intuition and mine is like very different.
yes. That's what I see when I look at her. That's what I see.
Yeah,
I see some humility. I see a lot of humility, and that is the key to, well, to a lot of people, that's the key to having strong intuition. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And so that's what I see when I look at her. And then I do see you guys as a power couple, and it's pretty awesome. And here we
wow,
are.
that's interesting to hear. I didn't even know that. Wow, wow, thank you. Like you're bringing light to me. Like truly, I'm like, wow, people. I was just putting the videos out, and I'm like, wow, people are actually watching.
Yeah.
Wow,
Not
wow,
everyone, not everyone can take having a partner want them to do better in life. They can be like uh have an adverse reaction, be angry. But I can tell she has a sweetness to her to where she wants to evolve too. Or I'm not saying that I don't know who is the main one, the driving force, but it's like you guys are on the same page. And in areas where you're not on the same page, you can inspire each other. And that's uncommon because there's jealousy that happens, and then you have outside influence. And I can tell that you guys, you know, your dynamic is strong enough to overcome any outside influence. And so there you go. That's what you need. That's all you need right there to grow together
right.
instead of growing apart with time. So I don't know what made me say that. Well, we know spirit, but
Wow, that's so interesting that you spoke on that because yeah, we do. I would say yeah, because me and her it's still interesting. Like we're different. Like me and her, like I would say we have a connection piece, but me and her, like we're like different people, and our
Mhm,
differences have us, managing and chasing certain things. So it's like even my wife, like there's certain areas that she's like excels. I'm like, man, how she excel at doing that? There's certain areas I just excel. So
mhm,
somehow that difference has made us like stronger in a bond. But I would say we definitely had turbulence like throughout our experience in our relationship. I would
yeah,
say at the beginning of our relationship, the reason why you probably see that is because the beginning of our relationship was like war. I don't know how we ended up staying together because it was just when we got together, like it was so much conflict. Like her exes, my exes, then our exes teaming up to try to make us like it was all different types of craziness going on. And it's like
mhm,
it has to be divine order that we stay together because I'm saying like all of our friends they broke up. Some of our friends maybe had like 25 different boyfriend or girlfriends, you know what I mean? Like and it's like we were able to get through that. And
yeah,
to tell you what part of what it because my intentions when I got into it, I didn't even have intentions of long term at the time. It was just life,
mm,
and it turned into something even more grounded. But definitely, it's so interesting that you see that.
hey, that's what attracted me to you guys. But I see myself or my own relationship and you guys lifting each other up. We've been through we've been through war.
Yeah.
We're complete opposites to
Yes.
um what he's showing some seashells.
Wow. That is very interesting because he was telling me about the seashell. I like me personally. I knew about shungite, but I'm not gonna lie. When he said the
Hmm.
seashells, that took me. I'm like, I never knew that seashells, could really block EMF radiation or really take care of your
Hmm.
body like that. That's interesting. So,
Yes.
like, when y'all study, like, what's y'all study routine? Like, is it like deep reading the pendulums, or like, are you just getting callings that you feel in your spirit that you go after?
Did you tell him about pendulum? No. we do use I do use a pendulum, but it's interesting because I've been using it for years. I stopped and I recently just got back into it, so that's why that's profound. But I do tarot. We both have dreams. I work with crystals. Um, I have discernment.
Hmm.
Um, he is gifted with charisma, so he learns a lot through people.
Mhm.
And me, I like your wife, just knowing things, and
Yeah.
then you research later, and you were like, I see, I knew what I was talking about.
Wow.
I knew what I was talking about. So you look on Google, the first results is like, no, 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 no. But you keep digging and you find something to validate that you know what you're talking about. So, but just a whole lot of things. We just do a whole lot of things regarding spirituality. And I guess if I have to say that I'm passionate about something, it is spirituality. But
Okay.
I'm a Gemini, so I'm passionate about a whole lot of things, but mostly mostly
Yeah, yeah. Not
spirituality.
now. My mom's a Gemini, and
Mm,
yeah, my mom's a Gemini, and she's very intelligent, very very
mm.
intelligent. Yeah, I would say
And what are
Gemini
you
is
guys
very.
sign?
Me,
Sorry.
I'm a Virgo, and my wife is a Capricorn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Is that a mixture that's supposed to go together, or like I mean, in terms of zodiacs, or that is that just a phenomenon?
I mean, I feel like it works because Capricorns take things slow enough to where like the particulars that the Virgo wants, they're able to take it in and actually it works because the Capricorn isn't too fast moving. Like the Virgo is like, oh, I need something particular. And then the
Yeah,
Capricorn is like, well, this is how we can make it work. Or let's try to, let's make it work. And then, but
yeah,
if you get with another fast paced sign, like y'all gonna be crazy.
yeah.
So you y'all are good. And Dwayne is a Libra, and he's been
Okay.
surrounded by Geminis his whole life. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. I know. I have a few Libras in my family. The Libras I do have in my family, I would say they're like they have charisma. They are very business minded. Um,
hmm
business new business ventures that Libras I have around. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I do see. I need to get more versed in my zodiac sign. So what? So you would say Virgos are fast paced and Capricorns are more slow paced
yeah. I
when it
mean,
comes to things.
that's still a lot for me to learn too, for sure. But yeah, yeah. I specifically say that because uh, Capricorn being Earth, so
Mm-hmm.
they're the slow. That's the slowest moving, the slowest moving element.
So they take their time with everything and did it
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Now I've probably only known one Capricorn, but I've known other Earth element people, but mostly Taurus, and they're just really slow moving, but not in a bad, not in a bad way. Just they're more grounded, clearly, right? Earth, but their thought
Mhm.
process isn't like all over the place like me.
Yeah, yeah.
they they
Now my
have they
thought
have one
process,
thought. They have one thought at a time.
yeah, no, my thoughts is like all
Yeah,
over,
yeah,
and I'm like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to. I'm trying
yeah.
to get it. Yeah,
And then
yeah,
it's wild because then you want things to be a specific way, or else they kind of you get your ways about you. So it's hard wanting to do so many different things, but then be very particular about how you want them done. So, but that's different from a Gemini where we're not so particular, you know. So that's why it's harder for us to get things done because we're not so particular.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I sound like I feel like I know more about astrology than I thought I did. Talking talking right now. Talking right now. But yeah.
Nah, that's right on. Me and my wife right now. What I was telling my wife recently, I was saying that we need to do like a retreat, and because we were planning on doing a few of them, but we want to have one where everybody could come out, could meet, meet like minded people, and start to
Hmm.
get on the roll of like trying to get towards building the city. Because I feel like it's in the power, like what goes on in the world is in the power of the people. Because I feel like with our dollars, we validate a lot of things that go on in our communities, in our situations. So if we could develop, a connection and a community with people and support each other and build upon one another. Because a lot of us who want to be healthy, it's not really cheap, it's not easy, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be designed to where when you're on this path and this journey, like it's supported. I feel like for like, cause I was reading that a lot of people were sending me like, man, I want to be healthy, I want to do this and that, but it's like the money, the money, the bills, the
That is the
inflation.
go-to answer. Yes.
Yeah.
That's like top two. The second answer being, I don't think I can get full off of some fruit. I need this. That's what my
Yeah,
dad
yeah.
always says. I'm like, you never tried. So, but anyway, have you ever eaten or have a watermelon? but but
So you be tussling with your family too, trying to get them to get on board with what you talking about, or
no, it's more so I have the element of mystery. So they ask me, and they're
yeah.
like, "Okay, I want to know what you eating today." So I tell them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I couldn't do this," or sometimes they'll go out and try a plantain. I had a sister go out and try a plantain for the first time. She told me later. She's like, "Oh, I had a plantain." I'm like, "Wow, I inspired you." So we end up being more inspirational than we ever realized just by being who we are.
Right.
So I
And she taught me that. She taught
Yeah.
me that.
To
She
be to
taught
be
me
more to be more.
just keep living, and people are watching you, especially your family. They watching you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
They are. So especially the people who have comments about what they couldn't do, or if anyone's talking down, they secretly wish they could.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're trying to say, wow, you're strong, you're powerful. I one day hope to be that way too. That's what they're
Because
trying
I,
to
I
say.
had times I had times that I was chilling with like family. I mean, not well friends at my old job. I remember like when I first got into being vegan, even though I wouldn't consider myself vegan anymore, but I would say whole
Hmm.
food, plant based. But when I went into being vegan and I stopped the restriction, just the diet restriction, and then I was like, you go to a pot, you at your job, they got like a potluck going on, everybody got all this type of food
Yeah.
going on, and I'm like, I was like, I don't really eat any of that. They're like, what are you? At that time, I said I was vegan, and that almost caused World War III. They're like, I can't be eat vegan. I need my meat. I'm like,
Nobody
I
asked that.
yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
just
I'm
telling
like,
you
I
what I'm
didn't,
doing.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah. Dwayne used to go through that a lot. They'd be like, "Oh, Dwayne doesn't eat at restaurants."
So
What
they
did they
try to
used to
like make
say?
it. They try to make fun of him over that, right?
Yeah, like they was basically saying that he thought he was better than them, and it's just like because he wants to take care of himself. We recently was at we don't go out to eat, but
Yeah,
we make an exception for injera bread because I'm not making it. I'm not about to learn. That's too
yeah.
complex. But injera bread at the Ethiopian restaurant, we know the owner. It's a very clean restaurant. Good energy. They keep frankincense and myrrh going, and it's just a really good space.
Wait, you bought Orlando?
Me, yeah, I'm not too far from Orlando. Like right now, I am an hour and a half, no, 45 minutes from Orlando.
Well, there's a spot in Orlando called Salams.
Salams
Salams.
Eritrean, Salams
I
Eritrean and
I gotta look
Ethiopian.
them up. I had made an energetic bread myself. I tried to do it, but it didn't. I tried twice. It didn't work. But what I ended up doing, I had my wife was telling me do this, this, and that. I had took lentils, and I was able to soak the lentils, and then I cooked the lentils, and I put it on like this big pan, this tray thing, and it kind of made a kind of a little energetic bread. But what
Mhm.
happened was, I don't know if you ever seen the video. I did the video on the spices, but this how I figured out the spices had a problem because when I made my injera bread, I tried to make the bebere sauce from Ethiopia, and I had used Walmart chili and paprika, and me and my wife ate it. Everything we ate because we were doing like different countries and stuff, trying to make it fun, and we didn't get sick. But when I got to Egypt, I had made a dish with that sauce, and we got sick. And I'm like, yo, why am I sick right now? I'm very sick. Weeks
Mm.
later came, I looked into it, but that was a side note to the energetic bread that I figured out that sauce. But basically, I had made the energetic bread during that time I was doing that, and you could actually make it out of the spelt and the lentil. But I definitely would check that restaurant out though, because that
Yeah.
energetic bread
Oh,
is good for you. Yeah,
yeah, and you have to tell them in advance. I mean, but can't you just call them a day in advance?
Yeah, day in
You can
advance.
just call a day in advance and ask them to make it gluten free,
Yeah.
and they will. No, it's no
yeah,
additional cost. Right?
And you get the original, you get the 100% teff. That
Oh yeah, and they don't use any oil.
Yeah.
yeah. I respect that. Definitely. I,
Yeah.
I mean, I really like y'all, man. I'm glad that I was able to meet like-minded people. Um,
Yeah.
are y'all far from cause we were supposed to do something on Jensen Beach. We was to drive over to
Mm.
Jensen Beach and do something. I'm not sure if y'all far from there, but we could cause me and my wife we still working on doing a couple things. We want to do a nature walk where we go over like, certain things you can eat in the environment, especially being in Florida. Y'all can eat buteberries. Y'all probably already know some of the things like buteberries, pine needle, blackjack, poke not pokeweed, but the other one is another one like it's close to poke. I gotta look at the name, but it's close to poke. But you can eat a lot of these things. And we were gonna do like a nature walk. We're gonna have one day with the beach. We also got another day planned that we're gonna do like some camping, like outside with like some like-minded people where we, go in nature and do things like that. So if y'all interested, I'm not sure if y'all drive what part of the state, but if y'all, I think if y'all in Miami, um, Jensen Beach is like 2 hours from Miami.
Okay, Chesapeake Beach.
I'm not from Florida, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what you do?
Yeah,
Hit me up on my phone.
yeah,
Text me on my phone, and I'm gonna have your number, and we can talk. Cause I gotta look it up.
Yeah. He actually just got a message, some divine message. That's a whole crazy story. But basically, a lady gave him a divine message saying that he needs to go to a spiritual retreat. And that was
yeah.
last week. So a lot of stuff here is
Yeah,
in
that's
alignment.
what that's what we're working on because we have a lot of a lot of people who are brilliant in the community and y'all really do have a
Mm-hmm.
message and I can see it that y'all need a place y'all gonna be doing really big things in life so y'all really need y'all
Mm.
seat
Well,
at a
thank you.
lot of
We
tables to
received
really encourage people. Yeah,
it.
no, I could definitely see it.
Yes.
So if
Oh, your
y'all can
phone's on
come to
5%.
that, yeah, if y'all can come to that and enjoy it, it'll be good.
For sure.
Hey, man, my phone's.
Well, wait, the phone about to die. But wait, I just wanted to say about this retreat that we've been in this place where we feel like it's impossible, and let's just keep in mind we create our worldview with the things we haven't experienced and we walk away from it and then we say, oh well, that's how the world is, and then we continue creating the same worldview because we have a perspective shaped now. So we've had this worldview that there are no other people like us. It's like, oh, we get betrayed, people are always talking down on us, just out the blue, people just act, they show their tail, right?
Mhm.
And I know we have both been working on it, but especially within my own world, I know that I don't want to think like that. I want to believe that there are other people out there like you guys, and um and that it is possible, especially within Black community. Like I don't want to just say that on your channel. I don't want to
Nah,
just
man. I
assume.
mean, no. It's all right. It is a lot of other black people out there like this.
Yeah.
That's we I mean I'm black, I come from a black family and black community so
Oh my
that
God, you're Black.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, so yeah, and that's where I come
But
from,
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm working on believing that we can trust in other people and have a real community, and it's possible. So I'm learning and evolving in that way and not being so like it's.
Nah, it's
So
possible
we're
because
working on it.
yeah, you got your 1 year old, and I know that children are the future. So you want to have them in
Yeah,
the right community that uplifts them, that builds them.
yeah,
Because you never know, that could be, the next leader that leads people into the right way the world should be. Add something positive. 'Cause I feel like it's so much negative in this world. Like we need something positive to try to change around all this calamity has happened. So we need that.
yeah,
Community is definitely that. So we definitely will connect to make sure we all staying connected. My wife,
yes.
yeah, well, well, my son may be asleep, but she might come out too late. But
Mm. Yeah,
we're
it's
definitely
because his phone his battery's about to die. But please tell her I say hello, and you guys just keep up the good work for sure.
nah, we definitely here. And y'all, I'm about to text your husband so that we'll be able to exchange and be able to plan some stuff out. And y'all definitely invited y'all coming. We sometime me and my wife we trying to plan one for another, but that'll be for another day. I'll save all the jewels and everything we got going on.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank y'all so much. I mean, I'm so happy
Yeah.
to meet y'all. Dwayne, it was
Likewise.
definitely Dwayne. It was a great experience. I'm happy that Dwayne wrote. You know, Dwayne said something. When I seen him, my
Yes.
wife was working out. He said 300 pounds. And I'm like, man, now I need to talk to you. Like, you need to come on the channel. You need to be seen.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. But it was a blessing meeting y'all. Health is wealth. And if y'all need anything, definitely message me.
Okay. For sure.
Take care.
Take care, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
Bye.